Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Vibha, a mathematics teacher in India and a huge edtech enthusiast. It gives me immense pleasure to share tidbits of information with others. Let's dive right into today's video. Today, we're going to talk about the types of questions that can be added in a Google form. In my previous video, I had discussed about the basic settings of a Google form. If you haven't watched it, do have a look. So let's get started for today. I am going to be making a quiz for my students. So I'm going to add in my first question here. My first question is name of the student. And if you see here, this has automatically changed to short answer. I'll quickly show you the types of questions that can be added in. We'll be discussing about all these types in today's video. Coming down here, I have two other options here. This is to duplicate the question and this one is to delete a question. This option right here is to make a question a compulsory question. So in this case, a student will not be able to submit the quiz without attempting this particular question. So my first question is done here. I'm going to add in another question. Looking at this white colored panel on the right hand side, the very first option here is a plus sign, which means add question. Clicking here, I get another question. I'll ask the class of the student here. I have added in three options right here. Coming to this, I'll be selecting a drop-down type of question here. I'll show you what exactly does it mean. I have the same options right here. I'll make this also a compulsory question. Before moving ahead, I want to show you the preview of this Google form. So if I come here, right on top, I have this eye icon, which means preview. So as soon as I click on it, my Google form opens up in another tab. And this is how my respondents will be able to see the quiz. If you see here, these two questions are compulsory questions and a drop-down question looks something like this. Going back to making my Google form, let me add in another question and let me cross this one out. Now I'm going to start making my quiz question. So my first question is, what is an equilateral triangle? If you want a text question, you can leave it here. You also have the option to add an image with your question. If I come here, right beside my question, I have the add image option. Let me click on it. I have all these options right here. I can upload a picture from my computer. I can switch on the camera, click a picture and insert it in my form immediately. If I have the link to an image, I can insert it here. I can pick something from my Google Photos albums or from my Google Drive. The last option is a Google image search. So right now I'm going to do a Google image search. I'm going to look for an equilateral triangle. I have all these options right here. And all these images are free to use. Let me choose one. Insert. And my question has an image now. I have the option to resize it. With these three dots, I also have the option to change its alignment or change or remove the picture at any point of time. I can also add a separate caption for this picture. Let me add in my options now. My first question is ready. I'm going to add in another question now. Going to this plus sign again. Add question. Just like I added an image in the previous question, I have the option to add images to my options as well. So let me make another question. I come to this first option, and right beside my first option, I have the add image option. I have all these similar options again. Going for Google image search. Let me look for Captain America. I have all these options right here. I can pick something and insert. My first option is ready. Adding another option. Going to add image. Google image search. You have all these options right here. You can pick according to your own situation. I'm going to pick one picture. Insert. Adding another option. Add image. Google image search. Coming here, you must know the difference between a multiple choice question and a checkbox question. Multiple choice is used when there is only one correct answer to your question. Checkbox is used when there are more than one correct answers to your question. So in this case, we have more than one correct answer. Therefore, I'm going for checkboxes. My second question is also done. Moving on, adding another question. This time, I'm going to go for a file upload type. These are for the times when you want your student to upload a file. So let me add a question. I have added the question. In this case, I want the student to draw something, scan and send it to me. I also have the option to choose the specific type of file I want. So I can choose any of these. I also have the option to choose the number of files and the maximum file size I want from my student. So our third question is also done here. Adding in another question. Linear scale is for the times when you want your student to rate something. So let me add in a linear scale question and ask the student their level of understanding of the topic I'm teaching them. I have the option to change the value of my scale and I'm done with the question. Again, before moving on, I would like to show you how our Google form is turning out to be. Let's go back. On the top, this eye icon, preview. Our first questions were name and class. This was a multiple choice question. This was a checkbox question. This was a question where the student had to upload a file. And this is a linear scale question. The student will be rating their level of understanding. So let's go back to making our form now. Adding in another question. Multiple choice grid is used for match the following kind of questions. Let me show you how it's done. Adding in the question here. I'll choose some places for my rows and write the options in the columns. The columns will have the options. Let me show you how this question will look like. Going to preview again. Coming right at the bottom, and this is how our multiple choice grid looks like. The child will be choosing their correct answers here. Going back to making our quiz. Checkbox grid are for the times when there are more than one correct answers. Going to add in another question now and explore some other types. I'm going to date. adding in my question. In this case, the student will choose the month, day and year as an answer to this question. We have another type, which is a time question. The last type, time question. In this case, the student chooses the correct time from the clock. So adding in my question here. Let's take a look. How will the student get to see these two types of questions? Going to preview. Coming at the last, this is how the student will answer the questions. They'll open the calendar and choose the correct date. And similarly, they will write the correct time here. Let's go back to making our form. We have discussed all the types of questions that can be added in a Google form. There are two more ways in which we can present our questions to the students. If you look here in the right hand side panel, there are two more options, add image or add video. I'm going to add in image. I have all these options which were similar to what I discussed earlier. I'm going to do a Google image search and show you how it will look like. So let me pick this picture, insert. This picture has been inserted into my Google form. I have all the same options. I can resize it, change it, remove it at any point of time. I can add in an image title. So these questions can be used by language teachers where the students are asked to observe an image and answer the questions related to the image. I have added this image and now I'll add some questions related to the image. The questions will come right below the image. Let me add in a question here. This can be a paragraph question. Adding in another question related to the same image. This could be a short answer question. Similarly, I have the option to insert a video and ask questions based on that video. I can do a direct YouTube search or paste the URL of a YouTube video which I already have. I'm going to do a direct search now. Maybe types of triangles. Click on one. I have many other options here. Select. A video has been inserted in my quiz. I'm going to write my question here. Adding in questions from the right hand side panel. Going to keep these a basic text question, adding in another question. And my questions are done. So let's see a final preview of how our quiz is looking like. Going to preview again. This was a short answer question, a drop down question, a multiple choice question. This is a checkbox question where there are more than one correct answers. This is a question where the student will upload a file from their side. This is a linear scale question. This is a multiple choice grid. This is the date question, the time question. This is where the student will observe the image and answer these questions. And this is where they'll watch the video and answer these questions. That's all for today. Today, we have discussed about the types of questions we can add to our Google Forms quiz. Watch out for my next video where we'll discuss about giving points to our questions, sharing the quiz with our students, collecting their responses and analyzing the responses. Hope that helped. See you.